I'm here at Amaterra, an incredible winery and vineyard in the city of Portland, which makes for one of my absolute favorite wedding venues in town. I'm very excited to walk through it with you today. Let's take a look at it together. Now, everybody loves a winery as the backdrop for their wedding. It's very romantic and beautiful, and it's got kind of an out in the country feel to it. But what's very special about Amaterra is that right now, on this 12-acre property, we are actually in the city of Portland, which means your guests are not going to have to drive all the way out to McMinnville or somewhere out into wine country for your wedding day. It's a very central location, and yet it feels very wild and kind of in a world of its own. Now, from an architectural standpoint, Amaterra is not like the average winery. It's distinctly modern, and it has a very fresh, beautiful, almost brutalist style architecture to it. It makes for an incredible backdrop. Now, Amaterra comes with all the ready rooms and getting ready spaces that you're gonna need on the morning of your wedding so that you don't have to rent a hotel or an Airbnb. And as an example of that, this is one of 2 rooms that they have. This could be a bridal suite or a groom's room, or however you would like to divvy up the 2 spaces. There's all of this room with couches, tables, and then over here, we actually have a custom makeup mirror that you can set up for hair and makeup. So you have this beautiful little suite on the morning of your wedding. And just outside on this patio, you can see them set up your ceremony. Now, of the 2 ready rooms, the gallery is my personal favorite, and that's because you have this incredible patio space outside. Now, this is just directly upstairs from where your wedding ceremony is going to happen down on the terrace. So you have this incredible view. You can see them set up your wedding. You can do photos up here, and you have an incredible view of the vineyard behind you. Now, downstairs, just through the hallway, we have the second ready room, known as the barrel room. This is a similar vibe to the gallery upstairs. You have couches, you have seating, tables, a TV, and lots of space for your wedding party to get dressed on the morning of. And you have a nice view of the terrace down here as well. And don't worry, there are privacy blinds for when you're getting dressed. Now, when it comes time for your wedding ceremony, the terrace makes for an incredible ceremony location. We're on 7,000 square feet of patio and lawn, where we can seat up to 200 people on either side of this aisle. Now, behind me is where you would have an arbor, and then you have sweeping views of the vineyard beyond. Now, you don't have to rent out the entire winery if you want to have a wedding here. And in fact, if you're planning something a little bit smaller, you don't even need to use the terrace. There's this really beautiful little tree house that can be used for micro weddings and elopements and just very small ceremonies. There's lots of foliage and trees for privacy, and then this beautiful sweeping view of the vineyard behind us. Now, upstairs in the Skyline Ballroom, we have a beautiful reception space where you can do a seated dinner. Depending on the size of your event, you can also split this space in half. There's an air wall that allows us to have a Skyline East and a Skyline West. So your guests will make their way upstairs from the terrace, and this is where your dinner, your dancing, and the rest of your event can happen. Now, Amaterra also comes with the option to rent out the entire venue for your wedding. And if you choose to do that, you get the restaurant along with the rest of the venue, which means you can have a cocktail hour or a dinner directly inside of this beautiful modern space. There's a beautiful bar, and there's all kinds of amenities for your guests to wander around and enjoy. Last but not least, when it comes time for your wedding exit, you can line your friends up here along the front of the venue with cold sparklers, and you can make your way out into the glory of the night. Now, like I said, Amaterra is not just a winery. They're actually a fully functional vineyard. So here on site, they're processing grapes and barreling them to be bottled all under one roof in the city of Portland. Amaterra is everything that I love about an elite winery wedding venue, with the central location of being right here in Portland. If you're considering them as a wedding venue, we will link them in the description below. Their events team is amazing to work with. And while you're at it, check out some of our wedding films. Beautiful Union is a film house based in Portland, where we shoot weddings and elopements all over the West Coast and beyond. In fact, Here is a wedding video that we shot at this venue.